Lakeside Dental Clinic, Go Island, is brought to you by Lakeside Dental Clinic.
We're at a gathering place at the Vancouver Island University campus today, taking part, sharing with you, a totem pole carving project. A local hip-hopper looking to compete in Germany, exercising to help with Parkinson's and revisiting Bowser. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. The Vancouver Island University Students Union approached the university several months ago about starting a totem pole carving project that is going along well. There's been some development, some progress, as you can see, and we're going to look at the intricacies of that project over the course of the next 30 minutes. But we're starting off with a young man named Luke McNichol. He's a 14-year-old hip-hop dance competitor, and he's trying to hip-hop his way all the way to Germany. Here's Derek Johnstone. Luke does have a fundraising page to get him over to Germany for that competition. www.gofundme.com/ now let me get this right, /BJOVVC, and they are hosting a fundraising beer and burger as well. That takes place at the Wheat Sheaf Inn on September the 13th. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're here at a gathering place. This is Cherry Mccarthy. She's a chairperson with the Vancouver Island University's Students Union. Now, what happened in this place originally is when it was built, a gathering place, it's an Aboriginal student service building, there was plans for totem poles outside, went over budget, totem poles didn't happen. That created an opportunity for you. What did you see?
Well, last August I decided to find out from the president whether or not we would be able to actually go forward, and he was willing to match us at $25,000 each.
Wow.
And so we started with it at that point.
Okay.
And in February we decided to do the call out for the artists, and by May we had the artists on site.
Okay, now when you say each, is that each for 3 totem poles?
Yes.
So you were fundraised $25,000 for each pole.
Yes.
The university matched it.
Yes.
And what's happening today is that the poles are here and they're being carved.
Yes.
Why are there 3? How are they going to differ?
Well, the significance of the university operates on 3 different traditional territories, which are the Nuchanoth, the Kwakwaka'wakw, and the Coast Salish.
Okay, now we're going to have a look at each one of those totem poles being carved here today, but before we do that, it's pretty significant and very unusual to have the 3 cultures like that working so closely together. Is that true?
Yes, that was a dream from one of the elders, Geraldine Manson, and she saw it as a way for us to join our cultures together and see if we could actually get it done, and we were successful.
You're sort of blazing trails in that regard then.
Yes.
Are you really setting the bar?
We're trying to, yes.
Yeah. What kind of response have you had?
Well, since this is a student-led project, we have a lot of volunteers. The carvers are actually being underpaid, but they're willing to put their time and effort into this and give it a good go.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. We're going to meet with all of the carvers representing the 3 different nations later on this edition of Go Island. It's time now for a very short break. Still to come today, fighting back through exercise, and Todd and Derek get a history lesson in Bowser. And Thomas Jones is with us, Nanaimo First Nation. We actually spent some time with you just a couple of days ago. It's good to be back again. Describe this pole. What is in process here?
So my name is Thomas Jones, and what you see here today is a pole being carved by Nanaimo community members, artist Noel Brown and his team, and what they're doing is they're following in the historical ways of our people, always being carving people coming forward. Totem poles are a little bit different for our people. You wouldn't have normally seen totem poles pre-contact. You would have seen house posts.
Okay. Now this is in the Coast Salish art form, and what are some of the I don't want typical or ways you can tell that that's the stylized of the Coast Salish?
One of the stronger points in this pole that you see in the Salish form is right here. the circle with these cuts that you see right here. They really are really particular to Salish art form, and you would see that over and over and over again. And the same down here on the legs too, this particular style right here, which you could tell, and you could look at a piece and say, oh, that's a Salish art piece.
I've always been under the understanding that a totem pole is a story.
There's always a story.
What story is this pole telling?
Yes, so Noel's vision and his direction from his elders is that he wanted something that's going to demonstrate strength, and you can see in here is a bear.
Okay.
Which definitely represents strength. Over here is a frog, and that represents for Noel like a voice of bringing forward things that need to be shared and things that need to be told, right?
Okay.
My part is a story. One of the things that I've learned in my life is that you can only carve where you come from. And I was very fortunate to spend some time with my late aunt, and she was an elder here, Mavis Y. Seward. And when I went back to a place where our family come from, over in Gabriola, Indian Point, she told me a story of killer whales and how it ties to that particular place. So in my part of this pole, I'm going to tell that story of a killer whale and a young boy who became a killer whale.
Incredible, thank you. And these poles, we'll look at the other two a bit later on, will be placed in front of a gathering place here on the campus of Vancouver Island University on 5th Street in Nanaimo. We're going to throw things over now to Kelly Robinson. People with Parkinson's disease have a lot of challenges trying to control uncontrollable muscles. Exercise can go a long way in helping with that. The Parkinson's Super Walk is an initiative that's being held across the entire country. There is one taking place in Parksville that takes place on September the 6th. You can pre-register in advance by calling Betty, 1-800-668-3330. You can send her an email, bhum@parkinson.bc.ca. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. This is George Hunt Jr. He is with the Nuu-chah-nulth and Coagul First Nations. How did I do?
Very good.
Very good. We're going to talk about where the wood came from, because that is a big part of the story that these poles are going to tell. What's the story behind this particular piece of lumber?
So this is Western red cedar. It's over 400 years old. We're so fortunate that they came from Nanaimo, local territory. This is the unceded land that we're on at VIU. It's very close to the Nanaimo River. We got the good fortune of going out and doing a traditional blessing with elders from not only this community, but our community from the Nuu-chah-nulth. There was a proper blessing. And for me personally, and a lot of us, speaking for a lot of us, it's something that we don't always get to do, especially in these times. It was a very meaningful, so what you're doing is you're saying thank you to the tree as it's transforming, gave its life. And then the Island Timberland and Western and Timber West are the three donors for the project. These logs came from Nanaimo territory, which is where the first totem pole, that's the carving territory. We're Nuu-chah-nulth. This pole will be Nuu-chah-nulth. The other carver is Hutch Kwayasam, and I'm wearing my Nuu-chah-nulth hat for this pole, and then there'll be a Quagul's pole, or Kwakwaka'wakw pole, a Kwakwa speaking pole. So to spin that up, those are the three main language groups of Vancouver Island. Okay. So each ancestry language group will be honored here at the gathering place.
Very nice. Now there is some significance in the fact that these trees hadn't been logged up to now, and you credit that to somebody's forward thinking to save these, because red cedar is not that common. You thought you were going to have to go
to the west coast of Vancouver Island or way far up north, and some forward-looking manager of, I'm not even sure if they were Island Timberland back then, but almost 20 years ago, this forward-thinking manager stopped his crew, and by that motion, the crewman was named Stephen Stupich, and a really good man that went above and beyond to make sure these were cared for and brought here in solid peace. And
he didn't know why, he just knew that they would have some purpose, and here they are. Thank you very much. And I know we haven't shared with you the story that will be told on this particular pole, but the carvers here are carving right through until the fall, and the public is welcome to come by. Please do come say hello, ask some questions, and experience this for yourself. We'll be back with more after a short break. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. This tree, red cedar, giant red cedar, is currently being evaluated to see whether or not it will make a good third pole that will be established here at a gathering place at the VIU campus in Nanaimo. They're thinking not. There's some rot on the inside of it, and then at the top of the log, this is what has been called, they call a cat face. So it dips in and it continues all the way up the pole, so it doesn't really provide a very good surface. I was also told that this tree at some point was probably growing too fast. The rings, each one representing a year, aren't really tight together, which indicates a very quick growing rate, which sort of weakens the surface and doesn't necessarily make for a good pole, but it's still being evaluated, and they have some more choices coming to the campus in the coming days. We're going to throw things over now to Todd Jones and Derek Johnstone. They are running loose in a little town called Bowser. They are very trusting letting me do this. Oh, that one went a little bit deep, I think. The idea is to make it smooth. That brings us to the end of this edition of Go Island. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to everyone here at the gathering place at VIU for sharing their project with us. We'll see you next time. Okay, why wouldn't you use a bigger tool for this? Then you get more done at once.
Lakeside Dental Clinic Go Island is brought to you by Lakeside Dental Clinic, a division of the Vancouver Island Implant Centre, delivering dental services, including dental implants and sedation dentistry, all under one roof. Clothing supplied by Catwalk Fashions. Kate's Hair and Aesthetics provided by Maffeo Salon.